Hey everybody, welcome back to Groundhog's Garage. So we're back to working on my 2005 Tahoe. So I've had this truck for about a year now, and when I bought it, if you go back to my videos, and I'll put a link somewhere in the picture here or down below, I bled the brakes when I got it. And when I did that, first I started by pumping new fluid through here, and after a while I came to the revelation, well, I should just take this out, siphon it out with the turkey baster, and start with fresh. And I did that through the whole brake system. So it's been a year now, and I found this kind of interesting. When I did that, the inside of this container had like a little black film on it, and a lot of it came off when I did that. But when you see this, I was surprised. So apparently what has happened with the constant brake motion, with the piston moving back and forth, and whatever residue was in the valves, and maybe even in the brake lines, it has flushed itself to the point where this is just in a year, and look how dark it's gotten. So I'm going to go ahead and siphon this out again, flush the whole system again. I've got my Motive pressurizer, so that it just pumps this in here. So all I got to do is go around and crack the bleeding screws and pump some fresh fluid through there. But yeah, this is only after a year. So again, I can't stress enough, this is a part of your car that's probably the most neglected of anything, and it's your brakes. And it's so hard to tell whether your brakes are working well until they don't work well. So if you value your brake system and you don't want to replace calipers all the time, and you're just, especially with rebuilt units, because you never know what you're getting, you can keep your car OEM for as long as you can. That's a benefit to you. So I'm going to go ahead and siphon the rest of this in here, and we'll go ahead and flush the brakes again and see what it looks like again next year. So it's not as dirty as it was last year when I took it out, but it's still pretty dirty, so, or it just changed color or whatever it is. But I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the project. Pour a little bit of fresh in there so it doesn't pump air into the lines, and get the brakes bled. So here is the Motive. Sit still. This is the Motive pressurizer I use, and it comes with, when you buy it, it comes as a kit, and you get a handful of these adapters to fit over your master cylinder here like that. And all you do is you pressurize it, and I usually go up to about 10 psi, and just go around and crack the bleeder screws, starting with the wheel that's farthest from me. And when it comes out clear, I just move on to the next one. Now I already have the back wheel off, so we can start with that one, and I'll show you a little bit of that. But just pump it up. And just to share my personal experience, I've used the vacuum one, and when you crack the bleeder screw, you get a little bit of air through the threads of the bleeder. So it doesn't work that well. I wasn't impressed. So, and bleeding brakes can be a chore, especially if you have to get somebody to help you. Doing it this way, you can do it by yourself. It's quick, it's easy. Where are we at here? We're just over 10 psi. And the way this thing works, you fill it up with fluid, you pressurize it, and then all it does is pumps fluid up through this line into the master cylinder. So as you release the pressure at your wheel calipers, the fluid comes out, and this just keeps us at a constant rate. Keeps it full at a constant rate, or wherever it's at the current point. Alright, I'm going to crack the bleeder screw here. And you can clearly see the brake fluid coming out. And I doubt very much you'll be able to see it change color on the camera. So I'm just going to go ahead and go around to each of the brake calipers, get them bled, and probably pump about a bottle of probably about a quart of brake fluid through the system, and close it back up and come back and finish the video. So here is the first little dish of brake fluid that I've taken out of the truck, and empty this and put some more through it until that clears up a little bit. So after dumping this 2 or 3 times, this is where I'm at right now with the color of the brake fluid. So I'm going to seal up my right rear wheel here and move on to the next one. Okay, so we are all buttoned up here. I've got every wheel bled. I started at the right rear, right front, left front. Probably used a quart and a half probably. And this is full of fresh fluid, and that's nice and clear, and take a look at it next year. So again, it's just my experience, but I've mentioned it in some other videos. Since I started bleeding my brakes every once in a while, I haven't had to replace a single caliper. So I'm just sharing my experience, and if you decide to do it, hopefully it works as well for you. I've got some other videos coming up on Frankenstein. I got some interesting projects and updates and upgrades. So hopefully come back and check, and thanks for watching. And if you like the video, subscribe. Click that like button, and hope to see you soon. Alright, have a great day.